Through marriage counseling, couples learn how to communicate and listen to each other. That way they feel heard and understood. When you go to therapy, because the mediator will be able to, the counselor, marriage therapist will be able to act as a mediator. So he will be able to guide you to limit your talk. So you will be forced to listen to your partner and she'll be forced to listen to you. Now you see, that way you'll be able to hear what your partner has to say and she'll be able to hear what you have to say. And that way it will help you feel understood and it will help you feel heard and also later appreciated, because most of the couples, especially the ones that I've handled, they don't listen to each other. The husband is shouting, the wife is shouting, nobody is listening. It becomes chaotic, you see. But when you go to a marriage counselor, still the marriage therapist, it will be able to help you communicate with each other. Now, because you'll be forced to listen, because the therapist here will be able to tell you, now please keep quiet, let's give her a chance. Then she'll talk and talk and talk and you'll listen and listen and listen. Then she'll also be told, keep quiet, let him talk. And then you as a man, you'll talk and talk and talk. Later, you might be able to find out that you man, you're the one who has been in the wrong all throughout, or you woman, you're the one who has been in the wrong throughout. So it helps you understand each other better through communication, and it will help you also, even when you finish your therapy, when you are at home, you'll be able to communicate with each other better. You'll be able to listen to each other better, because there's nothing that kills a marriage. One of the things that kills marriage, it's for a spouse to feel that he or she is not listened to. Hello fam, welcome to today's episode on Heart to Heart with me, Purity Amani. And today we are going to talk about marriage. So if you have your spouse, call him, call her, sit down, take a pen and a book or a piece of paper where you can write down if it's possible. Also, grab some popcorns, just kidding, or a glass of water. So today we are going to talk about marital therapy, and since I dwell a lot on that when it comes to marriage, actually I do something called marital therapy. So I'm going to tell you, before we continue, let me tell you what marital therapy is. So I'll read it out to you so that you can note down, and I'm going to read as slowly as possible so you can understand and so that you can note it down. So I have 2 points explaining what marital therapy is. And on my first point, it is marital therapy is where couples therapy attempts to improve romantic relationship and resolve interpersonal conflict. Couples therapy attempts to improve romantic relationship and resolve interpersonal conflicts. My point number 2, it is a psychotherapeutic treatment for married couples who are seen by a therapist, both individually and jointly, to assist them in resolving various problems related to their marriage. I'll repeat, a psychotherapeutic treatment for married couples who are seen by a therapist, both individually and jointly, to assist them in resolving various problems related to their marriage. So you see, it's self-explanatory. Marriage therapy is where you and your spouse goes to a marriage therapist to go and tell him or her about whatever is disturbing you in your marriage, maybe fights, abuse, all that. misunderstandings, cheating, divorce, maybe divorce threats, murder threats, things like those. So he or she talks to you. She can choose to start individually, then later jointly, or she can choose to go jointly with you. It depends also. Okay, so now that you know what marital therapy is, let's go to the importance of marital therapy. I have 2 points for explaining importance of marital therapy. One is it helps partners to listen to each other. It helps partners to listen to each other, because the counselor here acts as a mediator between the spouse and facilitates a healthy communication, let's say, room. So he will be able to coerce the two of you maybe, and also he'll be able to guide you on how to talk. Like, for example, wife and husband, let me just use those names. Like wife, the husband is saying that you don't cook for him on time. So what do you have to say about that? It's because he doesn't give me money on time. So husband, the wife is saying you don't give him money on time, that's why she cooks late. So what do you have to say about that? Now you see, I'm just giving you an example. So she is there as a mediator trying to create peace between the two of you. Okay. Through marriage counseling, couples learn how to communicate and listen to each other. That way they feel heard and understood. When you go to therapy, because the mediator will be able to, the counselor, marriage therapist will be able to act as a mediator. So he will be able to guide you to limit your talk. So you will be forced to listen to your partner, and she'll be forced to listen to you. Now you see, that way you'll be able to hear what your partner has to say, and she'll be able to hear what you have to say. And that way it will help you feel understood, and it will help you feel heard, and also later appreciated. Because most of the couples, especially the ones that I've handled, they don't listen to each other. The husband is shouting, the wife is shouting, nobody's listening. It becomes chaotic, you see. But when you go to a marriage counselor, still the marriage therapist, it will be able to help you communicate with each other. Now, because you'll be forced to listen, because the therapist here will be able to tell you, now please keep quiet, let's give her a chance. Then she'll talk and talk and talk, and you'll listen and listen and listen. Then she'll also be told, keep quiet, let him talk. And then you as a man, you'll talk and talk and talk. Later, you might be able to find out that you, man, you're the one who has been in the wrong all throughout, or you, man, you're the one who has been in the wrong throughout. So it helps you understand each other better through communication, and it will help you also, even when you finish your therapy, when you are at home, you'll be able to communicate with each other better. You'll be able to listen to each other better, because there's nothing that kills a marriage. One of the things that kills marriage, it's for a spouse to feel that he or she is not listened to. No one is, listening to them. No one is paying attention to whatever it is that they are doing. It makes them feel unwanted, unworthy, unappreciated. And the thought of cheating, the thought of moving out of that marriage, the thought of always fighting, that's where it comes from. Once a spouse feels like they're not appreciated, they're not understood, they're not, listened to, they're not, all that. And another thing that kills marriages is miscommunication. You don't communicate, things go on piling up. Later on, they will explode, and you see, that's why you find couples killing each other, a lot of divorce, separation, kids suffer, because lack of communication, lack of listening to your partner, lack of, trying to understand what your partner is saying. All that is brought about by lack of communication. But once you take a step, if you want to save your marriage, take your spouse, talk to him or her. Even if you don't understand, write a message, write a letter, tell him, let's seek a marriage therapist so that we can be able to save our marriage. And through that, you'll find out that she or he, professional marital therapist, will be able to help you get to understand where the problem is. And one of the problems, major problems, is communication. So it will help you. Marital therapy will help you listen to each other and improve communication in your marriage. Okay, let's go to second point. Couples are able to improve their relationship because they can now understand each other and can resolve their conflicts. You see, another big point, and which is very important. Now, after you've known the problem, because you have been able to listen to each other and you've known one of the reasons, it's communication. So later on, when you go home and something happens, you'll be able to communicate, like, hey, madam, what happened here? Why did the food burn? And what had happened? Where were you? And this and this. Then mama tells your husband, I'm sorry, the kid was crying and I couldn't allow them, or him or her, the toddler, to cry for so long because it is not healthy, especially for them to cry for so long. So I rushed to attend to the kid, and by the time I was coming back, the food was burned. Oh, okay. So what can we do to resolve this? Maybe we can employ a house help will help me, or maybe when I'm through with my work, instead of hanging around with boys, I'll be coming home early so that I can help you do 1, 2, 3 things to avoid such a loss next time, because a burnt food that is already lost, and that's money wasted. You see, you have been able to resolve it because you have been able to understand each other. Like, hey, why is your phone ringing at night? I don't know. This and this called me. I told them I'm married and they don't want to listen. Maybe they took my number from a friend. This and this and this. Then they listen. You don't start, drawing conclusion on yourself, because you have already been taught on how to communicate. So why do you cheat? I cheat because I thought this and this, you did this and this, you went this and this, I misjudged you. So I'm sorry, and it's okay. I forgive you. Or maybe I cheated because you don't take a shower, so it's a turn off to me. I cheated because your body no longer makes me happy. So what can I do? What can I do to make you happy, or to become attractive to you the way I was before when we met? You can start by doing some home exercise, jogging, sit-ups and all that. You see, you have communicated because you have already been taught now to communicate. Unlike before, where it was just shouting abusive words, I'm going to leave. Do you think you're not the only woman? You're not the only man. You don't satisfy me. You don't do this. Why did this food burn? Do you think I go and grab money from the trees? All that. Is it not this kid you gave me? Or do you think I'm the only? All that, it's all resolved by you going for marital therapy. That way, it will prevent all those abuses, all those pains, all those hurtful words you say to each other. It will help you resolve all those conflicts that you have been keeping to each other. There's some people, especially, I had a couple last week. And this woman almost burned the husband with acid. So when I called them and we started the sessions, the wife said that she had been carrying grudges for 15 good years. They were married for around 16 years, and she had been carrying conflicts, grudges for 15 good years. This man promised to buy shoes for her. He didn't. Instead, he bought shoes for his mother and his sister, and he did not buy for wife. Again, he bought a dress for their daughter, but did not buy for the woman. Actually, he promised to take her out for their anniversary, but for the last 15 years, he had not. He had not. It's only the first year. Also, he had promised her many things. Okay, he cheated and he said sorry and life continued. Okay, he wasn't actually sorry, but he just talked it over. And he did a lot of things. He slapped her, you know. He slept outside without giving her a reason, without telling her where he was, you know. He could chat with the ladies when she was there and later talk to her about those ladies. Like when they are outside, he could compliment on her lady, and you know, those good compliments to another lady in front of the wife. And he rarely complimented the wife. You see, he rarely told the wife that you're beautiful, you're smart, you're this, but he could compliment another lady in front of the wife. Whenever he saw a beautiful lady, maybe a lady could sing well, a lady could dance well, a lady could do something good, he would brag in front of his wife, and this was hurting her. And since they didn't have that good communication, or maybe if she raised the subject, they were quarreling, so she decided to keep it in herself, of which it created rift, it created a lot of grudge, and later on she started planning for revenge. You see, now there are conflicts which were never resolved, and they kept adding, they kept piling and piling and piling until she could not take it anymore. So, but one day, while she was watching Heart to Heart with Purity Amani, she saw what I was saying, she saw what I was doing, and she decided to give it a try. So she called me and asked me if I do counseling. I told her I'm a marriage therapist and also a counselor. So, counseling psychologist, sorry. So she booked appointment, and the husband fortunately accepted, and they came. So actually, even she came with that bottle of acid, and she told me, Amani, I wanted to do this and this while he was asleep. Then I killed myself, because I don't want my daughters also to suffer the same thing, and I don't want my son to hurt another woman. I decided to take them. You see, now those are 2 girls, 1 boy, a man, and a wife. He would have destroyed 5 lives at a go, but I'm grateful we were able to talk, we were able to solve the things they were going through. They were able to, she talked for almost 3 hours, and I told the husband, just relax, listen, let her talk, let her take it away, let her take it away, everything that is hurting her. Let her take it away so that she can be able to heal, because without talking, she'll not heal, and she may do something worse. So the husband was patient enough. Okay, at first he was angry, and he was also afraid of going back with her. But after we talked, after he listened to her, he came to realize that the mistake was not the wife's. Okay, partly she was to blame, partly, but the bigger mistake was his. He was the one at fault. He's the one who created all this, beef in his wife's heart. So he apologized, proper apology, and we continued. Right now we're still continuing with the session, and they are good. They are more happy. They're still healing, especially the lady is still healing. And yeah, that's importance of marital therapy. A lot of things that you feel you can't tell your husband, you can't tell your wife directly. A therapist is there to help you. He's there to help you. She'll be able to make you talk and listen. They make your partner listen to you. You can be able to, maybe, for example, let me give an example. I love giving examples. There are ladies who love marriages, weddings, I mean. There are ladies who love weddings, but they find it hard to tell their husbands, because probably the husbands are not fancy, they don't fancy, weddings, and that thing, it can bring separation in the future if not well handled, but if you go to a marriage therapist, the husband or the wife will be able to say why he or she doesn't like weddings and what you can do. Maybe they love the white wedding, but there are people who don't like begging, like the way we see people opening WhatsApp groups, asking for money, asking for support, asking for 1, 2, 3. There are people who don't fancy that, so they want you to stay, get money, so that your wedding will not be able, will have the wedding that they want without depending on other people. There are others who also don't like getting married before getting to know each other. After you have kids, I don't say it's a guaranteed. You can have kids, like there was a story that we had. The people gave birth to 8 or 7 children. Then after wedding, they parted ways. So it's also not 100% guaranteed that because you have kids, after having a wedding, you're going to stick. But it's people's opinion, and people have different opinion. So when you go to marriage therapy, all this will be able to reason out without conflict, without pains, without quarrelings, in a calm way, and it will help you understand each other. So that was my second and last point of importance of marital therapy. So I hope you and your spouse, if you're listening to me, and maybe you've been having issues, maybe you have not been communicating well, or maybe you have that burning thing that you really need to tell your spouse, but you don't know how to go about it. Don't worry, just reach out. I can say here to us, Heart to Heart with Amani, and we are going to help you, because a happy marriage, it's a peaceful house, a peaceful home, and whenever there is peace in your house, yes, you'll also spread the peace in the outside. So I will say, how do we call it? I don't know, but there's that word they say, it starts from the house, from your home to the world. So I don't know, let me just say peace starts from your house to the outside world. So I'm going to read something to you, and I hope you can note it down. And this is my last statement. That is, marriage therapy is a powerful way to help people cope with their emotional struggles. It provides a safe space for clients to communicate their feelings, work through conflicts, and gain insight into how their behaviors impact others. I will explain. Once you start going for marriage therapy, it will help you cope with the emotional struggles. Maybe if your spouse triggers you a little bit, you'll be able to know how to cope with that, how to balance the emotion. And it will also help you know, if I do this, if I shout, how does it hurt my spouse? If I beat her or him, we've seen women beating their husbands, how will it make my spouse feel? If I cheat, is it worth it? How will I affect my family, my wife or my husband? If I don't provide, how will it affect my wife? If I don't support my husband, how will it affect him? If I don't listen, how am I behaving? If I dress badly and walk out, how will my husband feel? If I, sag or maybe dress well, and, if I come late, or if I spend a whole weekend outside, how will it affect my wife? I haven't told her where I am, and I come back on Monday like nothing happened, and life moves on. So how have I affected her? If I go out with my friends, I come back late and drunk, and I didn't tell my husband, how will it affect him. So all those you get to know once you start marriage therapy, of which is a very interesting session, because you get to learn, you know more about your spouse. You get to learn more about your spouse, what she loves, what she hates, what he wants you to be doing, what he doesn't want to be doing. It because apart from just talking, there are some fun activities that you do, and it helps the marriage becoming sweet, because yeah, we know marriage is not a bed of roses. It's okay, but also marriage is not a bed of thorns. It depends on how you prepare your bed. It depends on how you take your marriage. If it's not working, and if it's a violent family marriage, that's why we don't encourage. If you see completely it doesn't work out, because your peace is more important. And if it's a violent marriage, we also don't encourage that. That way we'll tell you it's good to work out, or the decision you take, that is what we go with. But we never, personally, I can never encourage violence, because we can see the world today, the way people are killing each other aimlessly. Every now and then, each day we get at least 2 cases of a person killing their spouses, maybe even the children get involved with them. So if you see it's not working, and if you sense red flags, especially threats, it's good to walk away, because nothing is worth cutting short your life. So this is what I was saying. But if you feel that your marriage can work, and of which that is our prayer for all marriages to work, start looking for marriage therapy. Go for those sessions. Go for those sessions. They help. They're fun. They're funny. They're enjoyable. You get to do a lot of activities, which strengthens your bond, which makes your bond more tight, and which makes you understand your spouses much better. And trust me, once you start doing marriage therapies, your love life, your marriage life will never be the same again. It's going to change for the better, not unless, in rare cases, there are those that don't really work. That is, maybe if, anyone can fall out of love, but if he or she was never really in love, because that's why we usually say, if you have your partner, then you get someone else and you love this person, you feel you're already in love with this person, kindly release the first one and keep the second one. Because if you loved the first person, you wouldn't feel something for the second one, because you are given one heart, So love is sacred, and love is very, very unique. And so you don't easily fall out of love, not unless you are never in love in the first place, you see. So, but all that you'll get to know better once you start marriage therapy. You'll know, this is my partner, this is my ideal partner, this is the person I'm supposed to, build this life till death do us part with. And maybe you'll get to know, no, we're not compatible completely. Even if, yes, we were born differently, we were raised differently, then we came two different strangers, we came and we started a family. Even if there are many things that we are different from each other, I agree, but you can't miss 2 or 3 things that you are, compatible. So I don't want to talk much. I guess I just wanted to give you a tip of marital therapy, so that you can know the importance and why you need to have a marriage therapy, you and your spouse, every now and then. It helps spice up, and it helps you understand your spouse better and better. So I going to stop there for today, and I hope to see your comments there, maybe suggestions, maybe adding something else, maybe if you want to have sessions with us. If you have questions, you can put them on comments. If I won't be able to answer all of them, reply all of them, I'll reply generally again with another video. So thank you so much for listening to me. I've been your host, Purity Amani, and before I finish, kindly don't forget to subscribe. It will mean the whole world to me. Also, after leaving your comment, don't forget to share, so that you can reach to as many people as possible, and you'll be blessed for that. Until next episode, allow me to say bye for now.